In my recent Apple MagSafe leather case video, I talked about the different colors of the cases and the case itself and why I love it. But I also showed off this 13 mini of mine, which has the golden brown leather case on it. What I did with this is that I sanded down the coating and then I applied coconut oil so I could get a patina much faster. Now, because I sanded down the coating, already in 2 weeks, it's patinaed so much faster than it normally would. Because normally you'd have to wait for the coating to wear off and then it would start to patina with time. But this just accelerates the entire process. Now, before you start, I want you to know that you need to be really patient with this, because the last thing that you want to do is ruin a $59 leather case. Now, the first item on the list is going to be 400 grit sandpaper. I'm going to put a link in the description to where you can find this online, but if you go to your local home improvement or hardware store, you shouldn't have a problem finding this. Now, you'll notice I've torn out a little piece of it. That's because you don't need the entire sheet. So you can just tear off a little piece and use that when sanding down the case itself. Now, the next item is going to be organic coconut oil. I like this one in particular because it doesn't have a strong smell. But you can also use leather balm. So if you don't like the smell of coconut oil, then you can use leather balm, and I'll leave a link for that down below as well. So when you get started on the backside, keep in mind that the more you brush off the coating in one area, the more that's gonna patina with time. So I purposely, like if you look, my patina is not even on the back. I wanted to go for like an uneven look. That's what I like personally. But if you want to go for a more of an even look, then you wanna completely just keep sanding till it's all even. Now, when you get to these actual edges, you have these buttons. And then you also have these cutouts. So around these, you want to be careful. And if you notice on mine, the buttons are worn out. That's because I sanded them down as well, because I wanted that destructed look. But if you don't want the buttons to have a destructed look, you just want to avoid them altogether. On these edges here, you have to remember that these edges are going to naturally patina. Because when you hold your phone, the edges are coming more in contact with your skin. So you don't have to really go really rough on these edges. It's going to naturally happen. So light brushing on these edges, and especially the front part. The front part, you want to be really light. Like I did just a light brushing of the front edges simply because these are really thin. And if you do it too rough, you could chip off the leather and that's gonna ruin your case. Now, once you've completed the sanding process, in order to get an idea as to how far you've come along, there's two things that you can do. One, you can apply coconut oil because that's gonna show you exactly a change in the color itself. Or what you can do is just let it naturally patina. Wait a couple of days and see what it turns into, because now that that coating is off, you're going to notice in a couple of days, your case is already going to start to patina and also feel really grippy. Now, in my case, what I've noticed with my golden brown case on my 13 mini is that, yes, it's patinaed already so much faster, but it's also grippy, because that's also what happens with leather as it patinas. It gets nice and grippy. So this, after 2 weeks, is more grippier than the black leather case that's on my 12 mini. This has only been here for a few months, but this in 2 weeks already is nice and grippy and looks so awesome. I personally love the look of my 13 mini's golden brown leather case. It looks awesome, and going forward, I'm gonna keep doing this. Now, once again, I'm gonna say just be patient, because if you go lightly, you can keep repeating the process. But if you go too rough on the case itself, then you can't undo that. So just go lightly, start lightly, take your time with it, apply coconut oil or leave it for a few days and let it patina with some time. Then if you don't like it, you can go back and repeat the process again and again until you get your desired look. Like if I wanted to, I could go back on these edges and darken them a little bit more, but I'm happy with the way it's looking, so I've just kind of left it so that it naturally patinas. All right, so with that said, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. If you still need some help or you have any questions about how to do this, let me know down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And most importantly, take care of yourself and I will see you in the next video.